Hello everyone and welcome to today's Stocks and Crypto YouTube Charts video. I am No FOMO Charts. Today is Monday, August 11, 2025. It's about 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's jump right into the charts. I'll do about 8 charts today, 4 stocks, 4 crypto. S&P 500 on this daily chart, the biggest pattern that's sticking out to me right now, post earnings, is we have a potential double top resistance just below 637 in the price right now in the purple. This does not mean that the stock market is definitely going to crash. It just means that we're having a short-term resistance as the market is consolidating after earnings. We're still in a golden cross uptrend. If we happen to break bearish and break down, we have plenty of support below 632, 627, 616 as well. The resistance is above 638, 640 and beyond. For NASDAQ QQQ, on the 4-hour chart, intraday, there is this double top in the price. 576 is what I'm seeing on my charts in the purple line. And we're still in the uptrend on the daily chart. The golden cross is still intact. Same thing, similar to SPY. If we have a breakdown, we can fall down to 566, 560, or 549. Resistance above 577, 580, 583. Dow Jones is still in this golden up cross. It's good for now. It is showing a little bit of a downtrending type of pattern, this almost slanted head and shoulders, but it's more of just a downtrending consolidation. Golden cross still in our uptrend for this year on the daily chart. If we hit support on the downside, 437, 434, 430 as well. On this chart for Dow Jones, resistance above 443, 446, 449. Russell 2000. We can see some of the smaller companies right now. We did have this nice relief bounce last week above the 200 EMA bounce. Now, if we can't continue, even though we have the golden cross, we're in this consolidation mode right now going sideways. After earnings, I saw that news, 82% of earnings were good and positive despite tariffs this year. Now it's more about inflation. This week we have CPI, PPI, retail sales, etc., and a lot of news coming out from the White House. This is why some of this consolidation is happening. In terms of the support to the downside, we have 219, 216, and 213 as well. Resistance 220, 223. On the upside, let's go to Bitcoin. Let's do cryptocurrency first. Total TOTAL. We have this resistance shooting star that just closed for me on this daily candle in this blue mark area, just below $4 trillion market cap. We're still in an uptrend on total crypto market cap. We can see high, low, high, higher, low, long term, high, high, higher, low. Finding some short-term resistance at 3.95 trillion. Now, switching to Bitcoin, we can see we're also having the similar setup. Let's go to a cleaner chart. Resistance on Bitcoin just below 122,000. So the way I see it right now, as a longer-term Bitcoin analyst, we're in a good spot right now, a good place in the industry, because all of this news that's coming out of the White House, all the crypto regulation that changed with the SEC compared to 5, 7, 10 years ago, it's completely different now. We're in this uptrend right now. And a lot of these events that are happening, these dips per se, the 100,000, 104, even 114, this is a lot of price action that's being held up by institutions and corporations. They're coming in buying millions of dollars of Bitcoin and now Ethereum and some other altcoins as well. However, somebody's still taking profit right now, and we're shorting, and not we, but somebody in the market keeps putting up a sell wall up here at 122,000. Possibly if they're an early Bitcoin holder from even 15 years ago or 10 years ago, this is, we're in the highest price of all time. So it makes sense for longer term holders to maybe, or investors to take a little bit of profit, like sell some Bitcoin if they bought Bitcoin at around $100 or $200, which is not that long ago. And I mean, it was long ago, but compared to stock market, it's only been about 10, 15 years. Now, we're still in this uptrend for Bitcoin and the crypto market. Can we go higher? Yes, but we do need to have some healthy consolidation. I would not be surprised if we had this kind of pullback scenario. It's very eerily similar, these two spots on the chart, like I was saying about 2 weeks ago, in terms of the price action coming down and we get that bounce. Price action coming down and we get the bounce. So are we going to sell off? Because we just had a shooting star. If we sell off, Bitcoin could drop 5%. I'm still looking at the trend line on the downside and this upper trend line, which we're getting stuck at. The technicals are in play right now. Something to just watch out for. Ethereum, beautiful. One of the best altcoins, the original altcoin. Ethereum, all-time highs for 2025, 2025 all-time high. Now, if we put the pivot up, this is the resistance I'm talking about, that we went from pivot point to R1 and we're getting stuck right here below 4,300. This is crypto. It can keep going higher. It's just, we just bounced off of a low of 1,400. We went 200% in 130 days. That's just absolutely beautiful for altcoins. We're still in the uptrend, high, low, high, low. We're seeking that higher high. How high can it go? The oscillators is not extreme yet on a daily or a weekly chart yet. So there's plenty of room to go. And I need to see some kind of extreme blow off top, probably in the $5,000 range for Ethereum. But if we reject down, that's also normal too. So support to the downside immediate is 4,200. There's kind of this gap in terms of the volume profile, which if we bring anchored volume from the low, you can see there's a gap here about 4,000 in the volume. So this could break and crack very quickly. If we go to downside, then we hit 4,000. Resistance to upside, 43, 45, etc. Let's go to XRP. We'll just do two more and we'll end. XRP USD, it has always been in a golden cross, which is beautiful. Hit that support level in beginning of July. Pivot points, we bounced over that pivot point and rallied, and we're consolidating now. So I'm hearing this news. You can see it in the bottom right corner of the screen. Ripple received a Regulation D waiver from the SEC. And so they're making headwinds. They're making moves with Ripple and the SEC. Now, it's just a matter of perspective. If somebody bought at $2, they're up 50%. However, when we bought back here at 60 cents, somebody's up 500%, 400% right now. So I'm not surprised if anybody's taking some profit. I read one of the Ripple co-founder or somebody is selling millions of dollars of his own Ripple. And again, if they bought in at 1 cent or something, they're just made millions of dollars. So it makes sense for those people to take their profit. It's all relative in terms of the supply and demand and the profit taking or in the loss, right? So in terms of Fibonacci and support and pivots as well, the immediate support to the downside would be somewhere around 304, then $3 even. This is kind of an ugly looking pattern of the price. It's not a beautiful textbook looking uptrend. It's just somebody's aggressively buying the dips until one of these dips are going to fail. And then you have a big flash crash sell off because the imbalance of buyers versus sellers. There's too many buyers, not enough sellers, then it's just going to crash, right? Meaning that supply has been exhausted. something to just watch out for. On a weekly chart, long term, I mean, we kind of remind ourselves just even from 2 years ago, we went from 50 cents to 320. It's incredible. Okay, last one, Solana. Same thing here with Solana as well. Now the meme coins kind of popularity faded down, and so Solana was not our biggest winner for 2025. The payments were, in terms of stablecoin payments. Remember, if you followed this channel a couple of years ago, we bought Solana at $25, and then I personally sold mine at $200, and played again. Played this. I didn't exactly play this exact top. Kind of bought late and sold in the middle here, but still, in terms of Solana, and then this third trade. So that's why taking a longer term view in the weekly, this is looking a little bit suspicious to me. Head and shoulders incoming, right? This rising wedge, if this thing fails, then we get a flash crash dump on the weekly. It could take a long time, could take 1 or 2 years, but we just want to watch out for that we're not going to get caught off guard with the long-term perspective in this rising wedge here. And this could apply for all cryptos. Crypto is not safe. It's not the safest place to invest or trade, because at any moment, if there are big whale sellers, then it really brings the price down. I did read this corporation news that somebody out there is buying millions of dollars of Solana as their treasury. But in terms of, like I said last week, crypto likes extremes. So what are extremes? Sometimes second deviation Bollinger Band penetrations to the downside here. I call it just poking out of the rubber band down here, or a big dump. So somewhere down here, April 7th, that's the tariff low, right? $100 called that out in the 618. And then when it started to get here, there was an upside down head and shoulders. I could have been aggressive, but this is one of that last move. And sometimes it crashes back down, and then we have that lower high, like I was saying last week. So I'm all out of Solana. I'm not holding this right now, even though we're in the golden cross, just because the way the market is right now. But who knows? I might regret that, because we're having this golden cross very tight in this range. So that's why if we ever dip down again, I might be interested in the 156 level, 148. Definitely if it gets down to your 125. But we just want to watch out, because there is this cycle of hype, this cycle of greed. So just for me as a medium-term swing trader, I like to get out of those. Sometimes I miss the larger move, right? And I have to wait for it. So for example, let's try to rewind here on Solana. Golden cross. If it was a clean uptrend like 2024, right, we should have nonstop up. But we only retraced from the high back down about 60%, which is a lot. We're starting from 100, not 25. That's why it's hesitating here, and the news is changing. So as long as we hold above 155 Solana, we might be able to have another higher high and higher low, higher high. Right? It's just we need to make sure that this is not going to be some surprise flash dump. I really don't want to see that. You never know what's going to happen in the market, though. Okay, to end, now let's look at the weekly watch list. So for August 11, 2025, this week, most major stocks are over corporate earnings releases. We have a mixed bag of earnings. They're mostly, half of them are basically meme stocks. AMC, Entertainment, Big Bear, AI, Circle. That's the big one. Stablecoin, eToro, Exchange, CoreWeave. It's going to be big. This does not mean I'm trading everything. I just watch. Cisco, Advanced Auto Parts, Tapestry, Close, Ross, Close, Applied Materials, Gambling Group. It's going to be interesting to see if that has some kind of effect. SanDisk, economic data is going to be big. We had President Trump's speech today. Upcoming CPI, PPI, unemployment claims, and retail sales. Finance news is going to be all over that. Consumer sentiment and inflation expectations as well. Recent news, President Trump just signed the China 90-day tariff extension, and he also said that gold imports will not have import tariffs. Also, NVIDIA and AMD will give 15% of their China AI chip sales revenue to the USA government to secure their export license for the Chinese market. So they made a deal with the US government. President Trump recently also signed an executive order to allow employers to offer private equity and cryptocurrency 401k retirement account investing, and there's also a real estate type of investing option that he's trying to introduce. The big risk with that is everyone is concerned about employer risk. What if cryptocurrency crashes? Who's liable, etc. But I'm sure they're going to figure that out. Employers. President Trump's crypto firm, Alt 5 Sigma, plans to sell $1.5 billion USD of shares to fund their purchase of their own cryptocurrency created by World Liberty Financial. I wonder if that's related to the big pullback that happened today. We had a big sell-off, and it's just bouncing right now in the post-market. President Trump met with Intel CEO Lip-Bu Tan and plans to have more government collaboration meetings. He's the new Intel CEO. President Trump may make a decision reclassifying marijuana cannabis as a less dangerous drug in the next few weeks. Summarizing that President Trump might, this is a maybe, he might declassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug. But he was saying, though, that he's heard good things and bad things, medical use versus recreational use. So it's going to be on the federal level, but we'll see how broad that decision of the reclassification is. Because marijuana cannabis is not legal in every state in America right now. Increased prices of goods due to import tariffs could hit USA consumer retail prices by October 2025. This Goldman Sachs news at a Market Watch news outlet was basically saying that for maybe the first half of this year, that 2/3 of the tariff costs were being absorbed by corporations. But this Goldman Sachs estimate was saying that this October, the consumer, the customer might start to see the 2/3 of those tariff prices at the consumer retail price level. So tariffs might not be over. And we just went over these 4 chart events as well. Thank you for watching. I know today was kind of a long video, but I wanted to give more detailed analysis and information. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. If you like this video, consider clicking like, click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's always manage risk. And I'll see you in the next video.